Once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a beautiful princess. She had everything one could ever dream of: fame, fortune, looks, brains, and status. But she was unhappy because no one loved her. Her parents, the king and the queen, were too busy with their own selfish interests to spend time with her. They had hired the best tutors to teach her everything from sword fighting to singing and dancing. And yet she was lonely. She longed for a friend to whom she could pour out her heart and soul. One day, a handsome prince from a neighboring kingdom arrived. He was tall, dark, and dashing. His eyes twinkled like stars in the night sky. The princess's heart skipped a beat when she saw him. She had never felt this way about anyone before. Finally, she thought, someone who understands me. They started talking, and soon she was telling him all her secrets. She told him how she hated wearing these fancy dresses and how she wanted to explore the world. He listened patiently, nodding his head and occasionally offering words of encouragement. But she could tell he was only pretending to listen. All he cared about was impressing her with his looks and status. He never asked about her interests or hobbies. He didn't care about any of that. All he wanted was to marry her so he could boast about having a beautiful princess by his side. The princess's heart sank. Here she had been pouring out her heart and soul to this guy, and all he cared about was impressing her so he could get what he wanted. Suddenly, she felt like throwing up. She rushed to the bathroom and emptied her stomach into the toilet. When she came out, she saw a man standing in front of the mirror, adjusting his clothes. It was the prince. He had come to use the bathroom He turned around and saw the princess standing there with a disgusted look on her face. "You okay?" he asked. "Yeah, I'm fine. Just feeling a little sick," she replied. She turned to leave, but he stopped her. "Are you sure? You don't want me to walk you back?" "No, I'm sure." "Thank you for walking me here," she said, trying to hide her disgust. He left and she never saw him again. Later that evening, while attending one of her father's parties, she met a young man. He was funny and charming, and they hit it off immediately. They talked for hours about their dreams and aspirations. He didn't care about her status or looks. He liked her for who she was. Finally, she thought, someone who truly understands me. A few weeks later, he asked her to marry him. She said yes, without hesitation. On their wedding day, the princess walked down the aisle in a simple white dress. Her heart was filled with joy and gratitude. Finally, she thought, someone who loves me for who I am. As she looked out into the crowd, she saw a familiar face. It was the prince. He looked different. Now, he was wearing a simple tunic and trousers. He looked nothing like the dashing prince from before. He had lost weight and his eyes were dull and lifeless. She couldn't help but feel a sense of pity for him. Once, he had everything, but now he had lost it all. After the ceremony, she and her husband went to a small cottage on the outskirts of town. It was just what she had always dreamed of, a place where she could live a simple life, away from all the luxuries and status symbols. The prince, on the other hand, returned to his kingdom, defeated and alone. Many years passed, and the princess lived a happy life with her husband. They had 2 children and a dog. One day, while playing in the garden, her son picked up a small pebble and started skipping it around. The princess watched him with a smile on her face. This is the life she had always dreamed of. A simple life filled with love and happiness. She never forgot the prince who had come to her rescue. He had saved her from a life of loneliness and misery. Every day, she prayed for his happiness. Even though he had not reciprocated her love, she knew that he was a good man and deserved to be happy. That's why when she heard that he was terminally ill, she went to visit him. When he saw her, a look of surprise and then joy came over his face. "You! What are you doing here?" he asked. "I just wanted to see how you were doing," she replied. He looked at her with tears in his eyes. "Thank you," she said. Then he looked away, unable to speak. She knew he was thinking about all the times he had hurt her, and that made her sad. She stayed with him for the next few days, talking to him about everything and nothing. They reminisced about the old times, and he apologized for how he had treated her. She forgave him and told him that she still cared for him. When he died, she cried. She cried for the man he could have been and the love they could have shared. She buried him and returned home. It took her a long time to get over the loss of the prince. Even in her dreams, she could feel his presence. She missed his warmth and affection. She knew that he was in a better place now, and that gave her some comfort.